Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing a review for the season premiere of Arrow. And before I start talking about Arrow, just want to give you guys a little update. I do have my Kickstarter, Like Father Like Daughter. It's for my comic book. If you want to check that out, it's annotated. But let's talk about Arrow season premiere. As you guys know, Arrow is pretty much my favorite show, especially on now, and it's one of my favorite shows ever. And dedicated with my Arrow shirt. So I've been very excited to watch the season premiere and see where it's at, because we had a pretty long hiatus. It ends pretty much around time as regular shows, but we had to wait about 2 more weeks than other shows, or 2 or 3 more weeks. So we had to wait a little bit longer than usual. I remember when the CW used to do it like a week before normal premieres. Now they do it like 3 weeks after. So it's a little sad to see that. But let's talk about the premiere. So with this episode, Oliver wants to be normal. The calm before the storm. He tries to go on a date with Felicity, and then the restaurant they go to blows up. So Oliver realizes throughout this whole episode that he has to choose. Is he going to be Oliver Queen, or is he going to be the Arrow? Now, other stories are going to go character by character. Roy, he's Arsenal. There's not much of a story going on with him besides that he's Arsenal and part of the team. Dig, his daughter is born, so Oliver's trying to protect Diggle, and Dig's okay with it by the end. I think as the season goes on, he won't be okay with it, but he's okay because he's like, you know what, now I see what you're talking about. I do have to protect my daughter. We have the Hong Kong flashback, so we see that the whole connection with Katana. We didn't really get too much of that yet, so really can't talk much about Hong Kong, and I'm not a big fan of the flashbacks. But the biggest thing that happens here, well, the villain was Count Vertigo, and we get to see Oliver see his worst fears, and also throughout the whole entire thing, Ray Palmer is introduced as the next person who wants to take over Queen Consolidated. But the big cliffhanger is that Sarah returns, everyone's happy, Laurel's kind of happy with her life, even though her father doesn't have the best health right now, but she's happy. And Sarah's back, and someone shoots Sarah, and Sarah's dead, and falls off the roof, and Laurel's the one to see it. And she's crying, the mask goes off, and I think we know what motivates Laurel to become Black Canary now. What did I think about this episode overall? It was the calm before the storm, I would say that. I really like the character stuff here. First, let's just talk about the new character, Ray Palmer. I really like Brandon Routh as Ray Palmer. I loved his attitude, and it makes me really excited to see more Ray Palmer. Do I want to see a love triangle between Oliver and Felicity? No. I really don't want to see that. I mean, that's kind of the only thing I was happy and upset about in this episode is the whole Olicity thing. I'm happy they're exploring it and saying it's real, but at the same time I hate that Oliver is like pushing Felicity away, and then Felicity's gonna probably turn towards Ray Palmer, and I don't really know how to feel about that. Like, it kind of feels more of a tease than anything, so I just want Olicity. I know not everyone agrees with me on that, but I do like Ray Palmer as a character though, but I don't know how I feel as him being the love interest. I don't know how to feel. Arsenal, I really liked Roy in this episode. I thought he was really cool action-wise, and I loved the choreography they used for Arsenal. His costume's awesome. But I kind of wish they utilized his character a little bit more in the group, like how he's bonding with the teammates, because it felt like he wasn't totally needed in this episode. Even though he was great in the action scenes and he helped out in those action scenes, character-wise, he didn't really do much. So I was a little upset with that. I want to see more. I want to see Roy fleshed out a little bit more, even though I think Roy is fleshed out. He should be fleshed out even more than that. And I think as we get towards the Thea story, that's where we're going to see his character flesh out more. But let's talk about my favorite part here. It has to be the cliffhanger. I really like Sarah as a character, so it's really upsetting to see that she's gone. And now I understand why they said there's only going to be like 2 episodes for Sarah. It's upset that she got shot, but at the same time, I actually really liked Laurel this episode. I think the one thing that Laurel really needed for that push was to find out that Oliver was Arrow. And I didn't find her annoying at all in this episode, and I actually found her really interesting, and I'm really looking forward to seeing her become the Black Canary, because when you see that mask fall off and her fall off, Sarah fall off the building, and Laurel just crying and seeing that happen, you see why she would become a vigilante. And not because of like the dark side of all that, it's just because she wants justice. Her character's always been about justice. So I think it's really interesting if they go this route, and why she might meet up with Wildcat, which was great to see the Wildcat references here. We know that she's going to be trained by him. So this is definitely the beginning of Black Canary, and I'm really excited. But again, it's sad to see the expense of a really cool character like Sarah. So I am upset that she did pass away in this episode and die. It was a great cliffhanger, but it's that momentum. It is the momentum, and I think the fandom's going to be a little split with that. But overall, I did like the episode. I think there could have been a little bit more in the whole episode as a whole, just because there's a lot of character development, but not a lot of shockers until the end. I kind of wish there was a little bit more shockers, but to find out who murdered Sarah is going to be an awesome mystery, and now I understand why the next episode is called Sarah. Also, Count Vertigo was a really good addition. He's a big improvement from what Count Vertigo was in the first season. I hated a lot of villains first season, so it was great to see an interesting Count Vertigo, and that they have different Count Vertigos, and it played a lot more towards the comics than the first one did. And I do want to mention that Thea Malcolm was not in this episode. I'm pretty sure she's going to be in the second episode. I was, a little bummed out that she wasn't here, because, I want to find out what happened to her. I'm really intrigued to see what's going on with Thea. But yeah, Calm Before the Storm. There is not slow parts, but it's definitely more of a character building episode, and more of here's what we're going to see in the beginning of season 3. Oliver's going to question himself, and now we have this mystery. So overall, I thought it was a very solid episode, and that ending kind of blew me away. So really excited, obviously, for the rest of the season, and I will be reviewing Arrow every week on time, so be sure to check it out. So don't forget to follow me on Twitter for Comic and the Rant Situations. Don't forget to like my Facebook page. Also, in the description below, there's links for my comic book, Like Father, Like Daughter, and don't forget to like the Facebook page of Like Father, Like Daughter, and don't forget to back up the Kickstarter, which is annotated for Like Father, Like Daughter, and I'll see you guys later. And don't forget to tell your comments about the episode in the comments below. Bye.